Truthfully, the prompt for me was my experience with my brother, who had a serious illness and was using virtual reality before it became the wonder bug that it is today. My brother had a very rare disease and was confined to his bed much of the time. And what he said to me made so much sense, because he said, people don't understand that an illness really holds you hostage. I thought, how many of our hospice patients are confined to this illness in their bed and their recliner, and the ability for them to get out there and experience wonder and awe is probably the best thing we can give them.
So at Hospice Savannah, we use our virtual reality through all of our programs. That's starting with our children's program, as well as our Camp Aloha that we do every year, our bereavement program. We also use it through palliative care, and then of course hospice. So a lot of them really want to see their bucket list or their wish trips that maybe they didn't get to take. I once had a hospice patient that wanted to go to Egypt, but got sick before she was able to go. So that was on our bucket list, see the pyramids. So we put on the Oculus and just hopped over to Egypt and took a walk around the pyramids, and it kind of made her dream come true.
So it almost feels like or looks like I'm scuba diving. Like I'm not deep, like I can see the level of water above my head, but I cannot see the ground in this one.
Our 7-week-old son passed away from bacterial meningitis. Very suddenly. We put him to bed one night, and then the next day, basically, from like 11 a.m. through 9 p.m., it was the whole adventure, unfortunately. So, and then I started working with the therapist through that Full Circle Grief and Loss Center. He started VR with me, I want to say maybe 4 months ago. And we would do it like once every other session. He started with like stories about grief. They didn't have any words to it, but it was like a visual story. So you would walk through with the main character and kind of watch the events unfold in front of you. And then after we did that, we moved more to the I'm gonna say like meditative scenes, like in the water, in the desert, just things that he thought would help aid me kind of calm and understand my emotions.
We use virtual reality and bereavement to really allow people to have an extra tool that they didn't have in dealing with grief. So the goal of the mourner is to make sense of the loss, and we do that by telling a story. So I always say the best job I ever had was a bereavement counselor, because I heard love stories all day. Telling the story is what makes sense of the process, but then the other side is we need to give people tools to learn to live with loss. And so there's a lot of tools. And what we found is that virtual reality is becoming one of the best tools in the toolbox. It allows people to hit aspects of their brain that they're not doing through cognitive communication.
If you're lucky enough to have your health and you're able to travel to a beautiful place and you're just overcome, and the only real description of the feeling is awe. You have a feeling of total awe, and awe, there's so many studies now on what awe can do for you. It just puts your brain in a totally different place of thinking, of understanding, of inspiration. That is exactly what virtual reality is able to achieve for our patients who think that they can't find awe again because their life is limited, and at this point, they just need to be able to get through the day without feeling bad. So to be able to give that to them, we offer it to all of them. And you can start very, very small with 1 or 2 Oculuses and volunteer boosted program, so that your investment is not huge, but after a while, hopefully like our program, it will take off, and then you'll have to decide where you're going to get the funding.